Hello, and welcome back to Nuzlocke Vlogs, where I do a Nuzlocke and also a vlog. And in this episode, we're gonna do a Pokeathlon so that I can get a Duskstone so that I can evolve my Murkrow. And don't worry, I've done most of the grinding off screen. I just need to get any score at all in this, and I will be able to get that Duskstone. But also, this sucks because I am doing this I'm doing this on an emulator. I do have a touchscreen laptop. Why did I get this fucking laptop, by the way? I mean, it's a fine laptop. It's okay. But I wanted to be a game developer when I was younger. I still kind of do, but life happens and some goals are unreal. I don't want to get into this shit, so I'm like, ooh, what's a good laptop for a game developer? Well, you should get a laptop with a touchscreen. Okay, I'll get that. Why though? But why though? It's fine, but that doesn't add anything for me, except for in this very specific circumstance where I want to play the jump mini games in the Pokeathlon in Pokemon Heart Gold and Soulsilver. And this, by the way, this particular mini game is like the only one that you can do reasonably well without an actual DS and stylus. Like some Pokeathlon things are practically impossible because the screen on this screen on this laptop, it isn't even that good for doing touchscreen games. That's fine. I got so many points, and that is going to be enough for me to get that Duskstone, so I don't really have to try on these other two, but I will for the sake of entertainment. So I've been watching Futurama weekly and doing episode updates, so I'll do that this week. The 10th, that was an okay episode. Honestly, I wished it was better, though. It was fine. It was a solid episode, probably one of the better Hulu era episodes, but it was just kind of okay. You know, it's even when there are better episodes of this Hulu era Futurama, they still aren't on the par with classic episodes. But you know, it was fun seeing Omicronian Wedding. Just they constantly forget this fucking guy's name and leave him on the planet. And just the punchline of, because his ability is he's forgettable and they forget he's evil, is they forget to fight him and just leave him on the fucking book planet again, and they're never gonna see him again. And also, confirmation, Fry is in his 40s now, is a thing. Fry is close to 50, because they did finally, they don't really dwell on it, but they did admit, hey, wasn't it 23 years ago, the Amazon stuff? It's fine. It's fine. Fry is an old man. And I do wonder, I saw a theory that they're trying to do a season-wide arc building to Fry and Leela getting married, which they were going to get married in the final episode of the Comedy Central era before it ended, and well, it had a good ending, and reboot to Hulu. And this throws me off because it's meant to account for there being a bar in the Nintendo DS, but I just have the two screens on top of each other. There's no gap in my vision on these, so I am messing this up. Also, it doesn't register, and I can't do these, I'm just making up fucking excuses, but I am. Shout out to these three Pokemon who I am never using. I am never using any of these. I don't even know their name. I thought I would use a Zubat. I kept it in my party for a while so it could get... Oh, I'm actually doing decent. I kept it in my party for a while so it could get friendship, but I'm not using a fucking male Combee, and I'm not using Apom because I considered it, but since then I've gotten better normal types like my Ursaring, or that's Snorlax I've saying around. But yeah, anyway, I think I do like the theory that shit, did I win it? I've gotten better in my grinding at these. All my bitching, and now I'm finally speeding it up. All my bitching that, it's impossible to do this on the laptop, and I win. That's, so anyway. They're bringing back Kif and Amy's kids, and they did an episode on Bender's family, and this was a wedding episode where I thought, hey, maybe Leela will catch the bouquet, and maybe it's building to it being Fry and Leela getting married. I do know I'm very interested in what they say will be the season finale for this season, which is going to be a counterpart to God, I forget. Was it Meanwhile the finale? Like maybe, and they just said it's a follow up to that. And honestly, I want Fry and Leela to get together. Like they are together, but they aren't like particularly close together. You know? And I forgot to download. Did I do it months ago? Download the I did get a honk. I did have a preset honk there. And this is my team that will take me to red. I kind of want someone to kill Fortress because I've grown tired of Fortress being just a wall. But I mean, I can't just have it explode randomly. But yeah, I want Fry and Leela to have actual development and get married or whatever. I don't know. It's an okay season. But what is a very good show that I've been rewatching, kind of, I don't know why I fucking said kind of, I am rewatching it, is Kaguya-sama, Love is War. It's just such a fucking good show. I watched the first season years ago when it came out. Didn't watch the other 2 seasons of the movie, though. And I started again from the beginning yesterday, and I've watched 10 episodes instead of editing, which, you know, shouldn't have done that. You're not gonna fucking heal me? How dare you? How dare you? You are the mother in a Pokemon game. You are the Pokemon Center in this area. I'm flying to your house because there's no medical care. Like, this is a healthcare desert. Move over, Southeast Iowa. Palatown is the greatest healthcare desert. Yeah, some references to my job and news stories I cover. Well, she won't heal my fucking Pokemon. You can't get your Pokemon healed in Palatown. I mean, you can just walk to Viridian. But what if your Pokemon were really injured and you couldn't get that? And it was a Nuzlocke, like this hyper-specific situation, then Red's mom would be the worst. I hate her. I hope her son dies of frostbite on that fucking mountain. Why'd they add, like, a box here? There wasn't a box in Gen 1. Why are you adding box buildings to things? Also, aren't those, like, to save memory? It's like, they're for loading, right? But why would you need loading for this map? Well, I guess it's because you got all the water routes. I don't know. They were able to do it in Gen 1, though, which is weird, because you'd think Gen 1 would be weaker. I don't know. And now we're going to go fishing. We're going to go fishing. Still in Palatown? Still in Palatown. Okay. We're gonna go fishing. Another Beyond Canon update with Vriska in hell, and she meets Spider-Mom and Mindfang combined into one, with Mindfang's hair turning into Spider-Mom's head, and that was interesting. And Vriska, like, says, "Hey Mom, go fuck yourself. You were a shitty mom. I don't want to talk to you ever again." And that's good. I didn't think it was as impactful as her completely failing to solve Tavros for 2 years, but that's alright. Vriska is slowly growing up, and eventually she'll be a good person. And honestly, I don't know if I want Vriska to be a good person. I think being an asshole is such a vital part of Vriska's character that I don't know what Vriska but nice would be like, you know? Would it still be Vriska? Because I like Vriska, and I want her to keep being Vriska. I don't know. Speaking of Homestuck, I'm still doing my reading of Homestuck fan comics for the next project, and I need to start my Trezzy video, but I'm almost done reading through these Homestuck fan things, and I read through Altstuck, which is, Altstuck, that is not good art. Just very bluntly, this is not good art. It is the worst art I have seen in doing this project, in that it's pencil drawings on notebook paper, and there's no color, and body proportions aren't great, and the best part is we're Stan Pines, because they drew Stan Pines, and then erased it, and didn't want to use another piece of paper or just turn the page. They just kept Stan Pines, a shadow there, haunting the narrative. he is my favorite Homestuck character, Staniel Pines. That's not his fucking name. It isn't Stanford either, but it is definitely not Staniel. But the point is, Staniel Pines the ghost, and if it was like Homestuck, they would lean into it and have Stan Pines' ghost show up in the climax and be a villain. Because that's what Andrew Hussey would have done. And, you know, if you're not going to do that, is it really Homestuck? And why won't I fucking catch anything? Just give me the fucking chin chow. Why isn't... I hate fishing. I've complained before. I hate fishing in Pokemon games. It just sucks. God. Like, I've slowed down my game. I am going at normal speed instead of my speed up, which I do for the sake of the audience. It just... Is there a lag because it's on the keyboard? Okay, thank fucking Christ. This better be something I can actually catch. Chinchou, that's good. Chinchou, let's catch it. It doesn't learn electric type moves, does it? Like, if I did all that and then my Honchkrow just died right now, too bad. Doesn't matter. But yeah, Altstuck, it is rough getting into because, man, it's just not very good art. And also, I think the writing is very not great. It does a lot of... we're gonna do this scene from the original, but worse. Like, they do have Callie being given the Ring of Life and getting back together, but because of just small changes to the plot, it's not Roxy who gives it to her, it is Jade, which is utterly meaningless. Like, because it's a half proposal, because these characters really care about each other. That's, like, why it's Roxy putting the ring on Callie's finger. It's like a shipping thing, and, like, they also do, like Jade explaining John talking to Typhoeus, and I mean, they did that in the original, except no they didn't. They did Jade describing how in her timeline John died, and also then it's Callie describing how John met with Typhoeus. If it's Jade, it doesn't make any sense, because she doesn't fucking know that. And also, that scene doesn't work at all if... Well, the very good art in that scene is such a vital part of that bit where it's Jade talking to Calliope. But also, the important part of that is that partway through, it becomes clear that, oh, Jade's history is different, and then it ends with the revelation, wait, I'm not dead. Like, that's a good scene, and you fucking butchered it. And, like... This was a thing I've seen in a few of them where they, like, don't kill the Condens. Like, there's the one where was it Act Omega where the Condens just gets up and then the whole thing is fighting her? Yeah, that one isn't very good. But in this one, it's Karkat tries to fight her, and then Karkat gets killed by her, and then John undoes that with retconning. And then, I'm looking up this route, by the way, to see, because I'm pretty sure you can get Mr. Mime here. Is it a time thing? Is that way? Like, there's that, and then at the end, how they deal with her is Karkat says, hey, don't be evil and help us. And she's like, yeah, sure. And that's kind of dull for that character. And it's a 5% mime? It's a 10% during the day. Hold on, I'm going to use my reality warping god powers to make it daytime so I can get a fucking mime that I don't want. Not a fucking mime. I'm not going to fuck the mime. It's just, it's a fucking mime, And let it be AM. Ah, that's blinding. Blinding light. Blinded by the light. But yeah, so, like, I wasn't very See, it worked. It fucking worked. See, you use god powers to make it daylight. You do fucking Song of Time Link, and then you get your Mr. Mime, and it uses Substitute. And if it substitutes to death, that'd be lame. But, actually, I don't think you can actually substitute to death. See? Oh, you're fucking kidding me. You can't throw Pokeballs at substituting Pokemon? I've never seen that happen before. I didn't know that was a thing, and I need to get some moves for my Honchkrow, because, I haven't used it, so it doesn't know any moves. I'll have to do that off screen. And anyway, Altstuck does the thing that I've seen in a lot of these, like, Rose needs to play the rain! Like, yes, like the whole like here's the thing about Rose playing the rain. Here's my rant about Rose playing the rain, and it's not a subtle thing. In the original comic, Rose doesn't want to play the rain. She doesn't want to go on this preordained video game side quest that everyone's making her go on, and she says, "Fuck it, I'm not doing this quest. I'm making my own quest." And that is Rose as a character. And I don't like this. A lot of people dislike that, and in multiple of these ending rewrites I've seen, people are like, ooh, I'm going to change it so Rose plays the rain. The same thing happens in Double Death of the Author, and was going to happen, I presume, before it was cancelled in Act 8. And I don't want Rose to play the rain, because it's her standing up for herself, and, like, it's just a core part of Rose's character is her saying no. Saying, I'm not going to be a part of this. I am going to, like, get a bunch of fucking power and try and kill Jack Noir to avenge my mother. I'm not playing the fucking rain. Like, there's this focus in so many of these fan projects on, well, what about the world quests? Like, isn't that character development? Them doing the, like, video game side quests? And no, it isn't. Want to know how I know that? All the trolls did their quests off-screen, and, like, you know, it was irrelevant to their character development. Like, it's relevant to John's character development. He's the exception. Jade and Dave both completed their quests, by the way, and people forget that because it was glossed over and not really super important to the story. Like, their character arcs are not about completing their video game quests. John's isn't even about the video game quest specifically, it's about him mastering his powers and saving everyone. Like, that's why John has to complete his quest, because it allows him to save his friends. It's about him saving his friends, not about completing the video game thing. And Double Death of the Author, they did an actually good, that comic, I didn't like it at first, it's slowly growing on me. They did a better play the rain scene, and A, it's a good animation, and B, it's framed as Rose allowing herself to trust in her friends, and, like, allow them to give up control and trust others will save her. And, you know, that's actually using the video game quest to give character development to this character, as opposed to doing the video game quest because you gotta get 100% and get the video game quest done, you know? And I'll talk about Double Death of the Author in a minute, but, what was I going? Okay, so in Homestuck, Rose does her quest, and that's cool, and it's reframed as that will, lead them to the black hole and draw them to a new... It's hard to understand what happens in Homestuck, admittedly, because the art isn't very good, and Homestuck does a lot of meaning through color and complex backgrounds and scenes being designed to mirror each other visually. And, you know, I had no fucking clue what was going on at the end of that comic, and I've just been shitting on this fucking teenager-made fan comic, and now I'm gonna say that as it ends with a recreation of Collide with the same music, same 17-minute animation, not on the same quality, of course, but does end with a 17-minute animation, and halfway through going through this, I'm like, wait a minute, is this shit peak? Because this is fucking peak, this is cool as hell! Like there's... I don't necessarily know if it's better than, Collide, because it misses out on all the cool fucking shit from Collide. Collide is so good. I love Collide. I love it more every time I see it. But, like, it has so much... It climaxes in a pretty good thing of just everyone fighting against Jack English, who has gone the Ring and Lord English's staff. So he's combined the three Jacks into the Super Jack. And we get B1, Jack Noir, sacrifice himself to save Jade because he still cares about her even without the ring. And I don't know if I agree with that characterization, but it's a cool moment. And as it's going on, it's fucking Vriska and Al fighting against Lord English. Trickster Vriska destroying the green sun and then giving the energy fucking Spirit Bomb, take my power style to alternate Calliope so she can use it to kill her brother. That's cool as hell. And, like, that opens up... I still don't fully understand it, because, again, the visuals make it hard, but... And that rips a hole in reality that Rose, by playing the rain, somehow is able to drag the entire universe through that hole, and they don't get destroyed as Paradox Space collapses because they get dragged through by playing the rain. And also, the fucking climax is fucking Calliope, the living version, with the ring that she was given by her one true love, Jade. Like, their whole plan through it is, the whole plan that they come up with is using, what's his name? Die, that's his name. Number 9 of the Midnight Crew, his doll, which kills people. And that's not actually how that works. Hey, it transfers you between timelines. Like, putting someone's pin in it, it's specifically shown that putting someone's pin in doesn't kill them, but whatever. They craft a pin for Jack English, and they gotta stab it into this doll, but he steals the doll from them. And then Vriska steals it from him, and Calliope gets the pin, and she loads it into her pistol, and she fires, and Jack English is like, ha, I'm gonna turn my body to a portal, and so it's gonna miss. But then fucking Vriska dives in the way, and, like, holds up the doll, and it hits it, and it kills, and shit, this was good. I didn't like most of this comic, but you actually had a good ending at the end. You know what? It was okay. You justified the existence with one really good animation. Also, at the end, John, as consequences for his training for Typheus, John is revealed that he can't go to the new universe and he's going to fade away. And honestly, that's a good idea, but they go through that scene too quickly and it ends up underwhelming. But you know what? All stuck. You're at the bottom. You're still near the bottom because of the art and because most of it was boring. This video I'm gonna make next April is gonna be so mean because it's like people's teenage fan comics that I'm viewing critically, but also a lot of them is like, you go to that blog, it's like a post of the author saying, I'm so glad I wrote Old Stuck because it's so much better than fucking Homestuck 2 and the epilogues. Like, I'm better than that shit. Okay, no, you've opened yourself up for criticism and actual analysis of whether or not you made a good comic. And also, Double Death of the Author, the first half of it was just, I couldn't get into it. I just was bored throughout half of it, and I felt, this isn't gonna get better, it's not gonna be good. Like, I've heard so much recommendations, I don't see this getting better anytime soon. It's just a lot of, like, spinning its wheels, there's an anticlimactic defeat of the Condens, it's a lot of, like, it is just, again, endless scenes of characters. Hey, I was a bit of a dick to you in the original comic. I'm sorry. I forgive you, just again and again and again. And then, like, as I'm burned out and not enjoying this, Dave Sprite and Trezzy go to... Because Altstuck also does the we gotta do the World Quest thing, which I hate. They go to meet... Dave Sprite and Trezzy go to meet with Hephaestus, and they have conversations about both being suicidal, and it's actually really well written. And then in the middle of it, Hephaestus, like, make your case on why I shouldn't kill you, and it turns into a fucking Ace Attorney visual novel scene. Yes! This is cool as hell! That's the type of shit they would do in Homestuck. I like this. That Terezi is going full Ace Attorney. I like this. And then it's just slowly been getting a little bit better and a little bit better in the second half of Double Death of the Author. They have Rose playing the rain, which, again, I have mixed feelings on, but it has Jane saving her from drowning and being friends. Like, it's Rose accepting other people's help, which is a way of her character. I think Rose is... Like, the thing about Homestuck, there's characters I think who are well-written, who have very good character arcs, but it's kind of awkward, and... Like, I can make a video on John, I can make a video on Dave and Vriska and Terezi. I'm gonna make one on Terezi because they have clear endings. Like, at the end of the comic, they get this big moment that puts a cap on their character development. Rose is awkward because Rose doesn't really have that. She just has consistent, pretty good characterization and writing throughout the whole comic. But there's no, like, thing to... I couldn't do a video on Rose because there's nothing to build to. No, arc of the video to structure it around. It's just Rose developing and being a well-written character. And, you know, I don't know if Rose is as well developed because there isn't a clear... No, don't. Oh, after all that bullshit to get that dusk stone, you killed my bird. And it's because I didn't... I have a Dark Pulse TM. Why didn't I just give it the Dark Pulse TM that I have in my bag right now? That. We've been death-free for a while. We've been too death-free. This has been too lovey-dovey, not enough deaths. It's kind of like a lot of these Homestuck comics that I have read where there isn't enough people dying horribly, which, you need that meat with your candy. You need that meat with your candy. You need your wire mother with your cloth mother. Both are important. Is a psychology thing I learned about recently. That's fine. It's fine. I'm going to catch one more Pokemon, and I'm going to read some comments, and then I guess I'm going to end this. Actually, I guess I can just catch the Pokemon with my current Pokemon I have out. I'm going to get a Shelter. I'm going to get a Shelter, I think, with a Super Rod. Yay! And anyway, let's read those comments. I'm writing this before watching the entire video and having not read the epilogue. See, I missed it because I was reading that comment. It's your fault, Pedro. Reading this before watching the entire video and not having read the epilogues, just a bit of them, and Homestuck 2. I don't understand this. This is a thing so many people do, where they're like, I would like to read part 3, but not part 2. But why, though? And then a lot of people who do that are like, I hate part 3 and part 2, which I haven't read. I'm projecting on Pedro, making him out to be the type of people I don't like, but, I always felt that John got completely sidelined by everyone. Maybe it's the comic trying to be meta and purposely ignoring the character that was once the protagonist. But it always felt so weird to me, judging by the parts that I've read. He seems to be an afterthought to all the people he loves. And, yeah, read the epilogues. I'll never forget Rose telling John he's the leader and him countering that he's their friend. That's fine. That's, good characterization for John and good characterization for Rose. It took my favorite character and made him somewhat of a lonely loser that's barely remembered. My boy doubts himself so much, and most of his friends simply don't care at all. I don't know, I miss the better parts of Homestuck. Read the epilogues before you talk about them is, my thing. And like I said, I disagreed with this. I disagreed with this. John is really well developed and a great character in the epilogues and to a lesser extent in Beyond Canon, where he is the main character of Candy and gets a lot of character development. He does become lonely and separated from people because he pushes them away because he's going through this existential crisis. I think John is well written in the Homestuck epilogues. And I think my opinion's worth more than people who didn't read them. Low, BS1HG. Seriously, the story is about a lucky psychopathic teen versus an actual genius. I disagree with that. Light is a genius, although it is accurate. The Light isn't as smart as he thinks. Well, he's smart. It's just that he's very arrogant and he's very impulsive. And I would argue, intelligence isn't a number. It's not like this character power level intelligence of 1500 is stronger than 1200. No. Light is very smart. L is really smart. They're smart in different ways, but Light is impulsive and kind of dumb. Although that's not what I'm talking about in that video. I'm making fun of the fact that in Death Note, Light Yagami is like, I'm going to change the world and make it a better place by killing people who couldn't be killed before. Death row inmates. What the fuck are you even talking about? Kill some politician. Have I ever told the story that Light Yagami is an idiot, where it's Ryuk trying to get Light to kill politicians is my joke? I wrote that on July 4th, 2022, and I know the exact date I wrote it because that's when Shizuno Abe got fucking murdered, and I decided, ooh, I'm gonna hold off on making this video for a while because a Japanese politician just got assassinated. That was a bitch-ass move. Fuck Shizno. Was it Shinzo or shit? Doesn't matter. I think I'm calling him like the fake curse word from Red versus Blue, but also fuck him. He was a hyper-nationalist whose grandfather was a war criminal, and also he was just big like, well, Japan didn't commit any war crimes when we were fascist. Japan, awesome. And the last comment is Paris Strad, who says, thanks to David's character, I've realized my own trauma. Kind of ironic that Homestuck helped me to cope with it. Good for you. I have heard that from a few people, and you know what? That's good. Oh, I forgot to talk about. I have a new fanfic that I'm writing that is a Harry Potter fanfic, and the idea, I got it from just J.K. Rowling being the worst person, just this harassing a boxer for being trans, and the boxer isn't even trans, and also, is that black mold growing in her house? It isn't actually black mold, but I do like the jokes that, oh, this is like a House episode where he would realize that the mold is making her transphobic, and once he cures her, she's fine. Like, I decided to write a Harry Potter fanfic, and I don't really engage with Harry Potter that much because just J.K. Rowling's the worst, but the idea behind it is, what if Hermione grows up to be J.K. Rowling, like, in her youth? She was fairly progressive, or J.K. Rowling wasn't actually that. Hermione's much better than her in the books, but, like, this progressive who just loses her mind over trans people and just becomes a full-on fascist because she just hates trans people so much. And like in it, Hermione teams up with Death Eaters because Death Eaters also hate the trans people, and she tries to destroy Hogwarts because Hogwarts is brainwashing their kids into being trans. And I'll talk about more about when it comes out, but that's a story idea I had that I'm working on now. Should probably work on the 2 books that I'm trying to finish, but you know, sometimes you just want to write about Hermione Granger turning into J.K. Rowling. And that's where we're going to end it for today.